Hi, I'm Bonnie Carlin from the Senior Cafe at the Barn in Schaumburg, and I'm happy to be with you today. Welcome to Change. Today we're going to be talking about a wonderful organization which is in our community that has given us a lot of support and for which we are very grateful. But before we start, I'd like to introduce our panel, or rather have our panel introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Good.
My name is Jo Petroncio, and I do business development for the Alden Corporation.
Okay.
Thank you for having us, Bonnie.
Yes.
I'm Jeff Russell. I'm the administrator at Alden, Poplar Creek in Hoffman Estates.
Well, welcome, and I'm glad you could make it today.
Thank you.
I know I recognize both of you because I see you at the barn all the time. And first of all, I think before we start talking about Alden's and Alden's Poplar Creek, I want to ask you, Jo, what should we know about Alden's?
Well, there's a lot to know, and I thought what would be interesting if I told you a little story.
Oh.
And a number of years ago, there was a young gentleman, and his name was Floyd Alden Schlossberg. And Floyd grew up in Chicago. Mm-hmm. He lived on Bennett Avenue. And as he was growing up, he reached a point where he did leave the Chicago area. He went to school to St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in Wisconsin. He graduated, very smart young gentleman. He came back to Chicago, and he got his engineering degree at the U of I, the old Navy campus. Mm-hmm. Floyd had an entrepreneurial spirit from day one. So in 1961, I believe it was, he decided to start his own company, and he called it ABC. Alden, which is his middle name, B for Bennett, which is the street he grew up on, and C was for the type of business, construction company, so Alden Bennett Construction. Again, he started that in 1961. Shortly around that time, he met a lovely lady named Ina, and Ina and Floyd married. And as Floyd's business grew, Floyd built schools, libraries, firehouses in and around the area. His family grew, and he has three lovely, lovely daughters, Randy, Lauren, and Audra, all who do participate in the family business today. So Ina's grandfather took ill, and they were looking for nursing home care. And Floyd is a very, he's an engineer. I don't know how else to describe that other than my son is an engineer, and I know how those little brains work, and very particular. And there was nothing out there that really was the quality of care that they were looking for Dad, for grandfather, I'm sorry, for grandfather. So Floyd said, I can do that. In fact, in his own words, he said, if it is to be, it's up to me. And he went out and he built, I believe that was in 1971 or 72, the very first Alden nursing home called Alden Lakeland. That was in the uptown area. And he not only built that with the construction company, but he owned and operated it. Today, we now have 23 rehabilitation and nursing healthcare centers. You'll find them in Chicago, the suburbs, and also in Wisconsin. We also, Alden has 2 memory care Alzheimer's communities, 4, and this time I'm going to remember them, 2, 4, 6, and 8, 4 assisted living communities, and then we have 6 special needs homes and 8 independent, affordable senior apartment complexes. Again, all in that Chicago land area in the suburbs. So this young entrepreneurial spirit that he had started out very young and has done great things for our surrounding communities. In fact, I brought this with because I wanted to show you. He's a very good-looking young man and very good-looking today. Doesn't he look like a young Frank Sinatra?
Oh, he does.
Yeah, and he sings too. So
Imagine.
This is great. Yeah, but Floyd basically wants to build something that, I'm trying to think of just a facility in your community that looks like a 5-star hotel but feels like home. That's his goal. You know, a state-of-the-art rehabilitation center. He's very caring for the medical health concerns of individuals who come to his communities. I mean, I can't say enough about how it got started, how interesting it is, and today how very involved both he, his wife, and daughters are still in the communities that we own and operate.
It certainly sounds like he filled a void in the communities.
He did. He did.
Because up to that point, I don't think there was anything around like Alden's.
Not at all. Not at all. And in fact, even now today, I think you're starting to see a change from not like your grandma's nursing home any longer, but these state-of-the-art rehabilitation centers. And Alden, Floyd's company, is right in the forefront with that.
That's marvelous. Wow. Jeff, why do you think Alden Poplar Creek, that's the one you work for, right?
It is, yes.
Is the best community around?
Well, I believe that we are. Floyd sets very high standard for us in all of our facilities, and our mission statement really compels us to be the very best. We're going to be the very best long-term care provider for our customers in Chicago, Rockford, Wisconsin, wherever we've got homes. They're always top quality, and Alden Poplar Creek's no different. We've got, I think, the very best therapists. Floyd wants to know how the facilities are doing, and so we do customer care surveys. So we've got people that call residents and families when they're admitted to the facility, and again when they're discharged from the facility, to find out how the stay was and where we could improve. And in my facility, we get very high ratings for customers. In all the facilities, I hope we get very high ratings. But in my building, I always strive to make sure that, that our customers and residents are very happy with our services. Our therapy, we've got short and long-term care. Short-term care, people come for either a respite stay or maybe for rehabilitation. They've fallen and broken a hip, or they need a knee replacement, and after their hospital stay they need to convalesce and to have therapy to get back up to their highest ability to be independent, and we strive very hard to do that. And our therapists are, I think, the very best in the northwest suburbs, and that's what we do.
That is another feature that makes us very unique, Alden, is that Floyd not only started the rehab nursing healthcare centers, but we have our own CPT, which is therapy company, Prism, which is our durable medical equipment, and Forum, which is our own pharmacy, and then family, home, health, and hospice. So all of those components are what make the nursing home experience successful. I mean, that all plays into it, and Floyd knows and has brought all of that into the companies.
We work with other companies as well, but the fact that we've got the support of a family of companies that provide us the support that we need makes us very efficient and very effective, I think. You're right.
Right. That's great. What about the decor in the area? In our facility, we're in the process right now of doing some minor rehab. We're getting all new bedspreads and curtains and some carpeting and new chairs in our dining rooms. And Floyd has always got an eye for something that's getting a little bit worn and quickly getting it replaced so that we can maintain our status as one of the very best, so if not the very best. So there are other facilities in the area that either have had a complete rehabilitation or in the process now of getting a remodeling.
Our newest one, the Shorewood community that'll be opening up, I mean, the colors in there are very soothing and earth tones, and yet very, you know, 2-day, just gorgeous. A lot of woodwork, fine dining in the dining areas, just beautiful. They really are. Again, it looks like that hotel, but has the feel of home.
Great.
Our therapy department at Poplar Creek is going to be expanding. Our census has been increasing fairly significantly, and our therapy room is going to be in 2012 absorbing more space on the lower level and getting larger so that we can accommodate the higher demand.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
We're going to have to take a break right now, but we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll talk about some other ideas like your goals and things. Good. So, okay.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We're here with representatives from Alden's Poplar Creek and Alden's. And of course, there's many Aldens in the surrounding area. But I wanted to get an idea of what your goals are, you know.
Well, at Alden Poplar Creek, our goal is to provide the very best services to to be the very best provider in the area for short and long-term rehab for our residents. We have lots of ways to making sure that we're achieving those goals, but our primary way is always checking with the residents as to how we're doing, making sure that the patients are happy with the services that we're providing. As the administrator, I'm out on the floor a lot and talking to residents. I know all of my residents, at least I try to, and even the ones that are there for a very short period of time, and just constantly checking that we're meeting their expectations or exceeding them. We really want to provide all the delighters that make people want to keep coming back to us, and we have lots of repeat business, and there's nothing better than word of mouth to someone with a satisfied experience at our facility. Tells their neighbors, tells their family, and we get more referrals and are able to help more people that way. So
great. Tell us a little bit about your staff.
Well, I've got a great staff. We really emphasize customer service when we hire, and Floyd emphasizes it over and over again how important customer service is. Always having your game face on, always having your smile, and and making sure that that the residents feel comfortable. Sometimes people are a little hesitant to ask for things. They're used to being independent. They don't want to ask if they can get some water, or ask if they can do this or that. And so we always try to train the staff to ask. And is there anything else that we can do for you to make your experience better?
That's great.
Yeah.
I know that you have a pretty good meal plan over at your facility.
Well, we have a terrific chef, George Bolanos. He's very good at what he does, and so we always try to make sure that the residents are getting the things that they want. Our resident council chooses a meal once a month that they choose whatever they want, and we try to do it. But what George really exceeds at is our events. At Christmas, we do a enormous brunch, serve prime rib. At Thanksgiving, we do a very big meal and invite all the families in. The 4th of July, we do a huge picnic outside. Our big event is our walk and roll. We do a fundraising event for the community, for the Leukemia Research Foundation, and every year it gives seniors the chance to feel like that they're also contributing towards your charitable organizations like Leukemia Research. And
you know, Bonnie, when I first started with the company, and I've been in the industry for 27 years in senior housing, but close to 3 with Alden, I was surprised, because I do so much outreach and in the community, that people would come up at, say, a senior fair that I was doing, or in one of the senior communities, senior centers, and say, oh, I know Alden, either they were there or a family member. And the one thing that I remember most, well, really two, the therapy that they would get, they would marvel at it, that it got them back, you know, on their feet and back home as soon as possible with great results. But the other thing is always the food. How much they love the food. And I would be in Barrington at one of our communities, in the area there in the town. They would be saying the food. I'd be out in one of our southern parts, Orland. Same thing. I'd meet somebody in the senior fair, and that's the first thing. Oh, they had wonderful food. And it would also be the family member who was coming to visit, because we do, you know, encourage that they have meals with any of our client base that's there using the services. Well,
that's great.
It is.
And I know you've brought George over to the barn periodically with some of the residents.
Yes, our residents come and participate at the activities at the barn, and sometimes barn residents then return our favor, and
that's right.
they ask for us if they have a medical need.
Oh, yes.
And we've had several residents from the barn in our building, and yes, they love the food, and at least I hope that they do. we also hear
well,
about.
I think one of your events, you know, monthly at the barn is sold out. Must be very good.
We try very hard to make sure that we're meeting everybody's expectations and exceeding them when possible.
That's great.
I think that that's an excellent way to open the doors to an Alden and then to the potential client. I think people sometimes fear having to go into a nursing home, having to do rehabilitation. And what we're able to do with the senior centers, whether it's here at the Shorewood barn or at one of our other settings, is go in as an individual that you can talk to, just like we're talking here today, ask questions, know that you're going to get, you know, great information, and start feeling comfortable about something that someday you may have to use, and not fearing it. I think that's what we do with the barn residents. If we've established a relationship with them, and we know them and they know us, then it's a lot less stress on them to come to a facility for short-term rehab or eventually long-term care. Right. And they trust us. It's not they're not frightened about the whole experience. And if they've had an experience and there's something that they need to have addressed, it's very comfortable for them to talk with us and address that concern.
That's great. And you have ethnic you know, considerations at certain facilities as well, don't you?
We do. Depending on, again, the community that we develop in and build a facility. Up in Long Grove, it's a very high population, Russian population, and that then is seen through all of the staff that we hire, so that if somebody only speaks Russian, we are still able to communicate with them. I'm trying to think one of our other high populations that are quite different, maybe in Skokie or up north, Jewish community. Again, there might be ethnic foods that need to show up more so in that community setting than in any other.
Well, that is great.
Kosher meals.
Or kosher meals.
Exactly.
And we work with, you know, we have a large number of Indian immigrants that have come to our facility on occasion. We've at any time got.
So that would be vegetarian meals as well.
Right.
Yes.
Very good. We're going to have to take a short break now, but we'll be back later and we'll talk about outreach. Well, welcome back to Change. We're talking about Alden, Poplar Creek, and Alden in general. And we want to talk about your outreach, how you know, contact new people or get the community to be aware of your services.
Well, I think that you have a lot of outlets to do that. A lot of the chambers will have business expos, which give us the opportunity to have a table out there, meet anyone who's coming through pass on our information, address any questions. The senior centers have been a big help also because they will host a senior health fair. And again, we are able to take a booth and be accessible to anyone with questions about what we have to offer. There's always the traditional standby where you're doing the advertising in the newspaper or the direct mail pieces that you can reach your client base. But you know what? When I first started out in the business, a gentleman took a piece of paper and he made 2 half moons that kind of touched each other and put a dot on either side. And he says, that's how you make the contacts. That's how you get the word out about your community. And basically it was eyeball to eyeball and belly button to belly button. And I've kept that through all the businesses I've ever worked through and the communities I've been with. There's nothing I can sell you on the phone or through an ad in the paper or at the senior fair. I need to have that one-on-one with you.
And at the barn, I know I've seen you play Price is Right because I was a winner one time.
You know, it's funny because I think 1 or 2 of the times that I came out there, most of the time I wear slacks, but I did have a skirt on. And after that, when I came back to the barn, people would say, oh, there's legs. But anyway, I've always wanted to be Vanna White or like Vanna White, and Price is Right, which Karen had introduced to me as an idea, was something great because we were starting to open a new community in Bloomingdale called Alden Gardens Supportive Living, and that was one of our new additions to the Alden family. And so we wanted to get the word out to the surrounding seniors, and this Price is Right gave me the opportunity to go in there, do a little shopping, which I like to do. And I was able to purchase everything from, say, a box of cereal to laundry detergent to anything that a senior could go into the grocery store, purchase. And the idea was for me to hold it up, explain what the size was and the content and who the maker was. And we would draw 2 names out of a hat, and those 2 contestants would have to guess without going over the price how much that item was. And we didn't want to have just a winner and a loser. So we not only purchase an item, but we also purchase a lottery ticket. And the winner who guesses without going over wins the item, and the other person gets the lottery ticket. And we have a ball because it's really great to see who really does the shopping in the household and who knows the pricing and who doesn't.
That's true. But I wanted to know, are there any new programs that you're starting?
Absolutely. At Alden, Poplar Creek, and at several of our facilities, we're doing a post-acute unit. Our facility is going to be concentrating on orthopedic and cardiac, but there are others as well, pulmonary and things at some of our other facilities. But we've got a wing set aside for this, and we'll be bringing a cardiologist in and, that will do rounds and meet with all the patients, and it's not just providing care, it's teaching how to be responsible for your own care. We want them to go home more knowledgeable about their situation and to take responsibility for it. They're given notebooks, My Heart notebook, for example, in the cardiology department and for the cardiac program, and they take their own weights and understand more about nutrition and deal directly with the cardiologist. And then that way when they go home, they've got more of an idea of what to look for, what to measure, so that when they're going to see their doctor or their cardiologist, they've got more knowledge about their condition, and much more likely to have a positive outcome and delay any other sort of problem that might come up. We're very excited about it at Alden.
Well, that sounds like a great opportunity. Seeing the quality of life issues,
yes,
and you're helping educate people so that they can go home and have some confidence that that they can have a better life and not,
independence, keeping their independence.
Independence is a very important
Absolutely.
thing.
And I think it's one thing to say take ownership of your health needs. It's another to say that we can help you through that. Somebody needs sometimes a little direction and support, and that's what Alden is able to do. I just say that's been a wonderful company to work for. They have been on the cutting edge of a lot in the healthcare industry. They will continue. And when we were talking about goals, I know that by 2012, one of the goals of the company is that we double our size, so we are going to be growing.
Do you think in other states as well, or do you think it'll just be sort of locally?
Wherever there is opportunity, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
And we've really made a lot of progress towards our growth. We've acquired facilities. Floyd's built facilities. We're constantly growing, and all of our buildings are a big success.
We
welcomed
expect to be around with this company for a long time. Yes.
I've been with Alden 13 years and wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, well, you're one of the hardest working people that I know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's a big job, but you are definitely up to the challenge.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
We try.
And sort of in conclusion, what are your thoughts as far as going forward?
Well, no one wants to think about having to go to rehabilitation. We think we will be healthy forever, but things do happen. Hips have to be replaced, knees have to be redone. Shoulders sometimes don't work as well as they used to. It's nice to know that there is someone in the industry out there that can meet those needs, not just minimally, but above and beyond. And I think that's a good direction that I see Alden going in, helping those who are going to be in need of these services.
Yeah, Alden Poplar Creek is very grateful to be a part of the community here in Schaumburg and Hoffman Estates. And we love our relationships with the Chamber of Commerce and with the barn and with the senior community at large. And we hope to be a part of the area for a lot longer and continue to provide excellent service and make everybody proud that we're part of the community.
That's wonderful, I'm looking forward to seeing both of you again over at the barn. And if you want to call Karen at 847-524-7496 and come for lunch, especially when you bring George and cook for us. I'm
and
sure,
when the price is right,
is there? When the price is right, you get to play too. You may do that. And also, Alden has a website that people could go up and look at?
We can be reached at www.thealdennetwork.com.
And people can get
corporate
information.
number would probably be the best at 773-286-3030.
Well,
Alden Poplar Creek's, each facility also has its own website. Ours is www.aldenpoplarcreek.com, and you can, our address and phone number and fax numbers are there on the website, but our phone is 847-884-0011, and we're always happy to give tours and invite somebody in for a meal. We're always happy to help.
Come try us out.
Oh, very good. Well, we've certainly learned a lot today about rehab and assistance in living, and we hope that you'll join us and have a meal at the barn or come to Alden's and check them out. And for now, we're going to say goodbye, but I'm sure I'll see you both.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you again.
Okay.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Yes.